Well, g'day everybody, and welcome back. This is the Speedo that I had fitted on basket case. It is an Acewell Speedo, and it's not the lowest end of the food chain in terms of the Acewells. That was actually quite an expensive one. Works perfectly well, and there's no reason to get rid of it except that I was kind of felt that it was sort of missing something aesthetically, the bike, right where the Speedo was. So I thought I'd change it out. Let's go and have a look at what I've settled on. Welcome to Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Okay, this is it. It is a 4-inch GPS Speedo with a Speedometer tachometer in it, and I like the look of it because it's like the old Speedos on the Vincents of yore, except that Vincents had a 5-inch Speedo and this is only a 4. But I hooked it up last night. I think it's a variant of the Speed Hut speedometers that's been modified for motorcycle use. However, it only has a high beam indicator light and the left and right blinker light. It does have a lot of other really cool features on the menu, like your odometer, your maximum speed, it's got a trip meter, it's got a standing quarter mile feature where you can stage the bike, and the second you start moving, it starts tracking you and it'll give you your quarter mile time and terminal speed. It has also a digital speed readout as well. So yeah, it's got lots of really cool tricks to it. I did have to purchase a couple of small LED lights. I ended up having to buy a pack of 5 different colours, and I've used a green and a red for the oil pressure and the neutral light. Now it was easy enough to wire up. Just needed feed from both of the indicators, obviously, and the high beam wire. The rest is all just power and light. They give you an inverter for the lighting, but you just tie all the positives together because it's a motorcycle. Your lights are going to be on pretty well all the time anyway. So I just tied all the power feeds together, all the negatives together, and then the individual signal lights for high beam and indicators, and the speedometer works off GPS. Now I haven't actually ridden the bike yet to prove whether or not it works. I've got this is the antenna for the GPS. I've currently just got it sitting down here. It's magnetic. I'm going to see if it functions there. If it functions there, I'll permanently mount it there with some double-sided adhesive tape and tidy up the wiring. But at the moment, it's all just, they give you about 15 feet of bloody wire that you got to deal with. So I'll probably tuck that up under the tank somewhere, and then mount it. Now the speedometer the tachometer being a stepper motor, all it needs is a pulse. So I took a punt and I connected it to the factory tacho wire, which is a white wire off the alternator, and hey presto, it works. You just got to dial in the right ratio. So it wants to know how many cycles per revolution it's going to see, and in this case it was 4. So I'm going to start it up now. It's dead cold, so choke on. There is a hot wire on this thing so that it acquires within about 2 seconds. It stores the GPS locations from your last run. So I have already acquired the GPS, and it's just instantly gone to that. So let's give it a go. Battery's a bit flat. Really high because it chokes on, but you can see it working there. I'll take it for a spin. It tells me that the tachometer setting isn't right. Speedo's working for that. Let's pull over and change the tacho. Okay, to enter the tach, menu. Let's turn the lights off. Oh, we're off. You hold the button in and power it up. It's telling me I don't want that. That's the shift light. The different intensities. Okay, so now let's try 2. So that's not good. It's way off the mark. So I had it on 4, I went to 2, maybe I should have been going the other way. Let's try 5. That's looking promising. Alright, let's give it a crack. Tell you what, I reckon that's it. I think that the GPS antenna can stay there too. Yeah, it's going to live there, I reckon. I don't know about the tax still. I don't think I'm doing 4,000 RPM. About 80 kilometers an hour. The LED brightness for the blinker lights isn't very good in the daylight. Looks alright at night. Let's try this again. Let's try it at 6. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm setting the shift light, so I'm going to put up around 6,000 RPM. I think maximum torque on these things around 5.5 anyway, so I'll just whack it up there for now. It's hard to know. Coming off the alternator, I don't know how many pulses it's giving per revolution. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment. Sounds about right there. So at the moment I'm doing an 80 kilometers an hour top gear. So when it comes to mounting, what I did was I drew that in AutoCAD, and I emailed the DWG file off to a local business who specialise in laser cutting, and they laser cut. I got them to do 2, and thankfully I did, because it was only I didn't have the Speedo here when I drew this up, so it was all guesswork. And as it turns out, and of course this was flat, it wasn't bent. I bent this one up, mounted it, but the Speedo was too far forward. So what I did was I cut it. I ended up cutting the second bracket back here, re-drilling it, and then bending it and fitting it where it is now. I've mounted it on 2 10mm by 20mm rubber anti-vibration mounts, and bolted it up to where the ignition unit would normally bolt on an XS1100. And of course all the wires go into the headlight, and the only wire you need for your speedometer is to your GPS antenna, and yeah, that's going to live there. So I'm just going to tidy all the wiring up for that and mount that permanently on the neck. It just needs to be able to see the sky, and we should be happy days. Alright then, well thanks for tuning in again and checking out my new speedometer, and I'll catch you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.